What's up, y'all? Friday. I know y'all feeling good like I'm feeling good. I'm going to bring y'all into some do or die, man, before we get to the show, man. Sit back, make yourself comfortable, man. I know y'all remember this old school Twister. In the zone, they have a freaking be keeping me company, bumping me for the frequency I'm on. They can see I'm a cool motherfucker kicking the penny down with a tango woman. Y'all hit the like button. I know y'all remember this. Shout out to Miss Diva. Good to see you, Miss Diva. Shout out to Lynch. Yeah, man. Marshawn Lynch is a national treasure. Y'all hit the like button, make yourself comfortable. We're going to groove this thing out. Let's get it. Don't y'all know how the money flow? All right, let's get to the show, man. You know how to come into some do or die. That's one of my favorite cuts. Not one of their major jams, but hey, Money Flow is a good song. But we're gonna get to the get downs. And again, shout out to Miss Diva being first on the comment section saying love some Lynch. Like I said, man, Marshawn Lynch is a national treasure, man. Everything that comes out of his mouth is gold. Now, to kind of focus the conversation properly, as we know, Marshawn Lynch went on one Uncle Shay Shay show and he dropped some revelatory gems about how he feels about his tenure with the Seattle, almost said Supersonics, Seahawks. Now, I say this because back in time, we always knew that there was something just quite not right with the team chemistry, something quite not right with the whole team dynamic once they lost that Super Bowl. And Marshawn's going to step in and he's going to definitely say things that we kind of already saw, us, the peanut gallery, i.e. the Monday morning quarterbacks, as it were. We kind of peeped game a long time ago. So he's going to kind of slam the door shut on some of those prognostications that we had. So again, like button, please. I got a good one for you. Y'all strap in. Ms. Diva says, I always had a feeling Russell was stuck up and bougie. And we're going to touch on that. Spoiler alert. Your assessment was definitely landed on the proper scope. Let me put it that way. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and add it in. So I don't know how Uncle Shay Shay situation is, using his content. We're going to try to do it the best we can. I got a backup mechanism just in case he don't like his stuff being shared. But we're going to try, doggone. We're going to try. All right, so I'm going to let, Marshawn talk, obviously, and I'm going to come in with my own commentary because I think, again, this is so revelatory of things that people, in the peanut gallery, like yourselves and myself, this is what we always kind of perceived, Pete Carroll, the dynamic, the Legion of Boom, Marshawn Lynch's personality, and also Russell Wilson's. So let's, without further ado, let's get this party rolling.
Oh shit! Oh, you getting right.
Russ come on there in one knee, cause Russell get down.
And y'all let me know in the comments if it stops, because YouTube be hating. It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
One knee when he in the huddle, and you hear the play, cause you on the 1 yard line, Marshawn. You on the 1 yard line. Russ in the huddle, and he's calling out the play. What's going through your mind?
Shit, to be honest, I look at 9 of the other guys, and they look at me like, what the fuck just happened? And I mean, at the time,
even as he's calling the play in the huddle, because they look.
I gotta say this. I love how candid that Marshawn is. Like he doesn't hold anything back. Like his opinion is his opinion, and you can take it or leave it, or you can go where. Because I think a lot of players, which is kind of hard to get a real, consensus of how a player feels, because you feel like you gotta placate to or the brotherhood, the shield, as it were. Marshawn Lynch is a guy like, I'm a dude from Oakland, man. Listen, man, I go about business how I go about business, and you take it or leave it. And shout out to my guy Between Game Sports says, yo, in the building, good to see you, bro. So like button, please, and let's keep going. So far, so good with the stream. So let's keep it rocking.
Look. You got 1 yard. We got the man that we got beast mode. We got 225, 35 pounds sledgehammer.
What's happening?
And we got a timeout. So if we don't get it,
what's happening?
If we don't get it on this second down, we gonna get it on third. We gonna get it.
Let me say fair use. And shout out to Uncle Shay Shay, doing his thing with the Shay Shay podcast with Club Shay Shay. So fair use, man. Fair use. Shout out to my guy Flight in the building. I gotta give him knowledge. My guy Flight, man. One of my day ones in the building, man. Good to see you, Flight. Good to see you, bro. So we're gonna just do this breakdown, man. We're gonna again, the whole premise of this is showing that the things that we saw from the peanut gallery, from the cheap seats, as it were, this is exactly what Marshawn Lynch is going to encapsulate. So right now he's talking about that infamous play on, in the Super Bowl on the 1 yard line where we know what happened, but we'll let Marshawn Lynch recall it from his point of view. Let's get it.
We're gonna get this.
Also, shout out to Chuck in the building.
Ball in there, but B's got to touch it. B's got to have it.
What's happening, man? The look on all my teammates' face in the huddle, it spoke volumes. And I mean, processing the shit. If you go back and you look at the play, I actually lined because I'm processing. I line up on the wrong side. I line up on the wrong side, man. Russell got to tell you, I'm bouncing from back and forth behind, like, oh shit. And by the time it sat in, like, motherfucker, what did we just call? You just hear all the cheering from the other sideline, like, what the fuck?
So you didn't know Malcolm Butler had picked the ball off.
Man, because they send me on the flat.
Yeah, you
away.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm running out there like shit. Well, at least you're gonna hit me in the flat.
Yeah.
And I get my head around.
He ain't tackling you one-on-one.
What the fuck going?
And I'm gonna say this too: as a defense, I'm not worried about Marshawn Lynch in the flat. I'm worried about Marshawn Lynch taking that ball in the center, hitting that A gap in ball game. I'll take my chances with Marshawn Lynch in the flats. I'll take my chances. And shout out to Miss Diva. Yes, Miss Diva, tell them what's up now. Drop down and join the convo. Absolutely. Y'all comments are definitely much appreciated. Let's get it.
Like,
what happened?
I don't see no ball coming on. All right. And see the motherfuckers jumping up and down and cheering like.
$2 minutes in the commercial. All right.
Oh shit. He just threw a pick. And at that time, there was a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean?
So as you walking off the field,
oh man,
the defense is coming on the field.
God.
So was there any interaction? Did anybody say anything? Did the defense say, man, what the F was that?
No, Chuck, they did have a timeout. And that's what, like, I remember in moment, that's what was so much of a head scratcher. Like, you are in moment right now. In moment, you have a timeout. You're on the 1 yard line. Marshawn Lynch before then was just gashing their defense over and over. And I thought that, in moment, I was just like, why are you overthinking this? Why are you overplaying this? You know that you have one of the strongest backs at the time. We're talking, 2016-ish, in football. It's like, it's one of those cases where you're overthinking it. But Marshawn gonna walk it down just the way he saw it, though. Don't take my words for it. Take his.
Who called that bull jive?
Now that we look back at it, you see everybody, they show the reaction.
Yeah.
You see the reaction. Sherm, Earl, Bruce, the D-line, you see the reaction from everybody. And then as I'm going back to the sideline, I go by Russ and I just hear him like, oh man, like, I'll get him next time.
Whoa.
And as I hear the shit, I usually don't take my helmet off, but I take my helmet off and I go right to Pete Carroll's face and I'm talking about I hit his ass with the biggest.
You laughed in his face?
What the? And at that point, shit, I come up out my shit. I go to the locker room.
You know what? I believe every word that Marshawn Lynch just said. Shout out to Quiet Storm. The builder says Pete Carroll, whole clown for that. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I understand that sometimes you want to outwit the defense. Sometimes you don't want to go with the typical, play call, and you want to hit them with surprise. I understand that part of the equation. But reality is sometimes you can be too smart for your own good. And when you're too smart for your own good, guess what? Sometimes stuff blow up in your face. They just said, and so I believe every word he said. He laughed in his faces, man.
I'm out.
Hold on. Hold on. Beast
I don't
mode.
even see all the shit going on. I don't see none of this shit. I don't see the last few plays.
Where they getting the scuffling and they pushing and shoving. You was already gone?
I'm in the motherfucking
you in the locker room.
I'm in the locker room.
So by the time they come to the locker room, you probably already dressed.
It was Arizona. I think I ran
Bingo.
in the Lenny Kravitz through the oh shit, you. Hey, what's up, man? Looking like don't you got a game? Oh yeah, that shit over. Hey, call my mama and call the family. Hey, come on, we back to the spot. All right, go in there, get dressed, go shower, get dressed, and
I like those two comments just from Between the Game Sports and from Chuck. Between the Game Sports says coaches get in their own way sometimes, trying to reinvent the wheel. Absolutely, what they call it, being cute. You're being cute. You understand who you are. Listen, Russell Wilson is not that guy. And so it's funny, can we kind of take a trip down in 2016 when we remember that in that day and age, it was pretty much a 3-man quarterback race from as far as the rookie class before. Maybe it's 2 years before, when you had Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, and you had RG3. I think that was the 2014 class. Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm incorrect. But in that class, those were the 3 stars of that class. And like a lot of people were just, very much, attaching themselves to RG3. And by people, I'm talking about my people, black folks. RG3 was, I think he won offensive rookie of the year, something to that nature. But Russell Wilson was showing to slowly be probably the best of the 3 based on team success. And one thing I remember in the time is like, I like Russell Wilson, but I think that he is a sum of his parts, meaning this. And Richard Sherman says this all the time on Undisputed. If you guys sit there and watch, he always says that they were a defensive team and Russell Wilson just did the rest. And beast mode is pretty much just encapsulating that point, because ultimately speaking, it's easy to say somebody's doing really well when their team is doing really well when the defense is doing the heavy lifting. When you look at what Andrew Luck's situation was, I believe for like about 5 or 6 years, he's the most hit quarterback in the NFL, constantly changing head coaches, constantly changing offense coordinators. So the offensive line was just garbage. So obviously now I'm a little biased. I'm an Andrew Luck fan, him being a Houston kid, I'm always going to cheer for the Houston kids. But ultimately speaking, when I watched him, I saw a better quarterback with just a worse situation. RG3, he had the thing run that pistol offense, which was very, effective in that time frame. Kind of have a wispy body, and his injuries did not hold the tell of time. So I was kind of like, a little skeptical on his overall quarterback prowess. I see we're 7 deep. Y'all hit that like button, please. So Russell Wilson has slowly emerged as the best of that crop, being a 4th or 5th round pick. Y'all correct me in the chat. But what I always observed was, okay, the kid does a really good job of what he does. But are you the same quarterback when that defense, 2012 class, I was 2 years off. So, and shout out to Quiet Storm for that correction. But are you as good as that team dynamic is, or are you a product of that defense? And I think that with Marshawn Lynch, with this revelatory information, parsed with your boy Richard Sherman, he drops those jewels too. And what you notice, guys, a lot of those dudes from the Legion of Boom defense do not mess with Russell Wilson. And he's going to tell why. But it's just like, it's funny from the outside looking in, we kind of observe that like something's just off with this dude. Something's off with this team. And as we saw, some people say, Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson is like a cornball. He's a goofy dude. In my opinion, listen, don't hold a gun in my head. I've been saying this for like a decade. He's a goofy ass dude to me. I'm not saying he can't be a productive member of society. Not saying he deserves a wife like Sierra. Sierra be wearing that stuff that I wouldn't let my lady wear. But I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not a hater of Russell Wilson's. I'm just an observer that he's a goofy ass dude. He's a cornball. From a guy who spent a lot of time in the locker room, who understand how locker room hierarchy goes. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Just saying. And shout out to the comments. Let me catch them in the comments, man. Thank y'all for being active in the chat, man. That helps me to keep going. And Chuck hit the nail right on the head. Jimmy Johnson would have get the ball to Emmett, to the ball on the 1-8. Run the ball, Let's get there. Let's go home. Super Bowl championship number 6 or whatever you want to call it, right? You overthinking the scenario. Hand the ball off. Get your Super Bowl. Now, some people say there's politics in play, and Marshawn's going to talk on that, so I don't want to, put the cart before the horse. But y'all hit the like button. Quiet Storm also says, Belichick even knew if Marshawn got the rock, he was going to score. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Malcolm Butler just made a great bang play off a pick play, something that he probably couldn't do twice. But I tell you what, one of my best friends in this world, Jared Ellison, hit a half-court shot to win a game. We was down by 2. We was in high school playing against North Shore. And if you know anything about Houston sports, North Shore has been a powerhouse in football and basketball since been pimping. And it so happens it's a 3rd time we played them, 4th time if you include a scrimmage. We beat them in the 3rd round of the playoffs. He hit a half-court shot, won by 1 point. He'll never do it again. So things like that happen in sports, right? So let me keep going. MF Messiah in the building. Good to see you, brother. Said, what up, HJ? Man, what up back, bro? True the King, man. I ain't seen in a minute, man. Good to see you, True. I see you share my stream on Twitter, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. So I thought Wilson was made for making smart decisions. He is, but he threw the ball a little late, and that caused him, that situation. But we'll get there when we get there. So again, hey guys, hit the like button if you really like the content. If you really like it, you get the Cash App $HJ Streams, and you get your personal shout out over here. You know how I go. I would not deprive you of your acknowledgement. But with that being said, let us proceed forward.
I'm coming out. Now you see everybody else coming in. I mean, I'll holler at y'all when you get back to the
Why didn't they give you that ball? Why did Darrell Bevel call a pass?
Listen, man, I'm a country boy, man. I'm from Houston. Shelly Sharp is a country ass. Why didn't they give y'all that ball? That's funny how he never really dropped that twang. He's been a resident of Los Angeles for a long time, as well as me. It's just funny how strong his southern drawl is.
Pass play. Why did Pete Carroll not overrule him? What happened? Did they not want you to get that MVP?
Man, I have no idea. And from the understanding I got is nobody taking accountability for it. Neither one of them. They put it off on each other. So I don't know. Okay. I don't know what the fuck they got going on.
Hold up. Russ put it off on Pete. Pete put it off on Russ, or was it coordinator the head coach?
Nah, coordinator.
Now, this is where things get very revelatory because we always thought that Pete Carroll called the call and who takes the blame and all this. So Marshawn is about to give y'all that game about how that actually broke down in their locker room. Let's go.
Head coach. They pass it back to each other from that's when they talking to me. So right. I don't know how it played, but at the end of the day, yeah, that shit was, that shit was painful because you gotta think like no matter what, in any sport you play, what you do, especially now running back, saying, okay, you when you a little jit, you set up, pillow here.
So y'all know what legit mean. I mean, as a kid, as a little kid, you know this from inception when you dreaming about making that star play, when you dreaming about being, the hero or the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals. He's saying as a little jit. That's what he's talking about right there. For those who don't know the vernacular.
Chair here, maybe a lamppost here. Like, oh, okay. And then you start going. It's the end of the game. One more play. The quarterback hand the ball off to Marshawn. He jump in the end zone, touchdown. The Oakland Raiders win the Super Bowl. I'm a Raider fan. I'm from Oakland, California. So, you put it together. You put that play together so many times. You play that. You play that so many times.
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to Fiverr and up?
All right, I'm gonna say this. This is funny. The last two things I've seen on the internet had my background music I use, and then Between the Game Sports background. Salute to the stock audio out there. But no, so my only pushback to this is like every player on that field thinks they are gonna be the winner of that scenario. So I understand that Beast Mode is saying, okay, that was my moment to shine. I want to be, since a jit, as he says, I'm gonna be the one run that ball in there and win the Super Bowl. But my contention is, I think he was throwing the ball to Tyler Lockett. Y'all can, correct me in the chat. He want to be the one who catch the game winning, catch in the end zone. Russell Wilson dreamt about throwing the game when it passed in the for the touchdown to win the Super Bowl too. So those things all kind of run concurrently, or just they run in their own way. So I mean, it's like I can't feel too much empathy or sympathy for Marshawn's dream scenario, because you talking about 11 other guys on that field, which skill position players. You take away what 5, 6 other guys who want that same scenario. So just saying.
Not only did they take
they took a moment away from you.
They took a moment. They took a dream. Wow. You know what I mean, like I say, that's one.
But with all that being said, Marshawn deserved the ball, man. Because if you don't get it, you got a timeout, man. Like, hey, listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate. But at the end of the day, I agree 100% with Marshawn. You give him the goddamn ball.
In a lifetime situation.
Have you gotten over it?
To be honest with you, now that we at 10 years, we had a 10-year reunion for the Super Bowl, and just thinking like, damn, we could have been doing this again next year. And there's no telling, like, you took a dream away, you took a moment away.
Okay, and now this is where it's going to pivot to the point of my conversation where I said that he's telling what we always known. So what we kind of saw is after this situation, the Legion of Boom started to fall off. It started to kind of fracture at its core. The foundation started to shift. And as we saw, that basically it showed that Pete Carroll chose Russell Wilson over all that. And now Marshawn's going to take it from his personal perspective of not getting his moment to where things start to go left for the Seattle dynamic, where things start to go left for the Legion of Boom, so on and so forward. Because Dan Quinn can only do so much with so much talent. So now Marshawn's going to give you like some insight about how the things that we saw from our couches were pretty revelatory of how things played out.
You arguably take a dynasty away. You know what I mean? Because then you in position that, hey, we win 2 Super Bowls. Maybe I don't want to be the highest paid corner or the highest paid safety or the highest paid receiver. Nah, spread that cheese through the.
And I hate to keep stopping it, but this is where like basically organic flow turns into business. And when it turns to business, guys want to like explore their options. That's one of the biggest things. And listen, I'm not against no player, especially no black man going out there and optimizing on your skill set, optimizing on your talent. But listen, when you're happy, guess what? You tend to take a little less money. When you take a little less money, guess what? That leads to more team camaraderie and being a more harmonious atmosphere. That's when you see guys restructure, when you see guys understand that, listen, team dynamic, to me, being comfortable in a winning situation is more important than me being the highest paid player. And it's good to see a guy like Marshawn, who's been in the trenches, who's been in the locker room. He's saying this to you with carte blanche. Y'all listen up, peep game.
The whole team, so we could bring everybody back and we could go try to do 3, maybe 4. Let's see what we could get out of it. So, I mean, not only do you take away all that shit, but you put us in the in the history books as the dumbest call in football history.
Show you right, goddamn it.
I mean, for my situation on the other end of it, I mean, it's gonna be an everlasting question that I'm gonna get. Why they ain't give you the ball?
Is that the question that you get asked the most? When people meet,
and now this part is gonna be hilarious because this is like the barbershop thing. Most of us who watch that scenario, if we ever ran to Marshawn Lynch, we know the question we gonna ask. And Marshawn's gonna just slam dunk that whole premise home. Y'all people.
Marshawn Lynch, and everybody knows who you are. Is that the first question out of? They're like, "Hey, how you doing, Marshawn? Man, why they didn't give you that ball?"
Hell no, it ain't no. Hey, Marshawn, how you doing? This. Hey, why the fuck they didn't give you the ball? Hey, you Marshawn Lynch? You look just like Marshawn Lynch. Like, no, I ain't Marshawn Lynch. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to ask you that. I thought you was Marshawn Lynch. Because I was gonna say, man, why, if you was Marshawn Lynch, why the fuck they didn't give you the ball? No, I'm Marshawn. Man, why the fuck they didn't give you the ball? Like, oh shit. Fuck, I don't know, man. Shit, I wish I did know. I wish I could get, the truthful answer behind that.
But is there any answer he could give you now to satisfy you?
Absolutely not.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't know. Now that it's been so much time in between, it probably wouldn't even matter.
Because every
And that's called maturity, man. Like, because when you in the moment, Marshawn talked about taking his pads off, going to the locker room. He met Lenny Kravitz on the way out, like, man, fuck this shit. I'm done. I'm done. So in the moment, yeah, like it was something very frustrating. And I'll be honest, man, if it were me in that situation, I would be very frustrated. But over time, you know, when you kind of put life in perspective, because as important or as dire as I thought any situation I faced in basketball was, right? I look back as a 39-year-old man about to be 40 in about a month. A lot of that shit don't mean anything to me anymore. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore because in the grand scheme of life, that was the thing that mattered in the point of time, and you grow and you move past it. And I'm not saying you ever forget it, but it doesn't have that same weight on you. So I think Marshawn is showing me that a guy who's kind of come to a part that, like, you know, life goes on. I think he's at a good stead because, I mean, listen, the reverse end is some guys never get over it. It's like that Al Bundy syndrome, where Al Bundy talked about at Polk with those 4 touchdowns he had and he can never let it go. Marshawn's like, you know, I'm at peace with it. And that's a really good thing showing from maturity. So let me say that as we go forward.
I've heard everybody says, well, they didn't want Beast Mode to be the MVP. Pete wanted it to be Russ, or the NFL wanted it to be Russ, and whatever the case may be. But it doesn't make sense. I mean,
so now to the conspiracy theorists who say the NFL wants to be Russ, then why the hell would you let Malcolm Butler intercept the football? So if that's the case, you want Russ to be the MVP, you want Russ to be the guy, why would you allow Malcolm Butler to intercept the football? So I understand, you know, most people want to go against the establishment. Most people want to go against the grain. I mean, because that's a comfortable place to be because you really don't have to prove anything. So, and there's a lot of channels who like talk about like gematria and things like that. If you don't know what that is, that's like the study of numbers and how that permeates over the professional ranks. Now, have there been situations where the game has been rigged? Absolutely. Referee Pat Donahue, he's proven that. The situation with the brother played for Arizona State, I forget his name, he was throwing games, playing, you know, betting with the mob. Like, yes, those things have been prevalent in professional or collegiate level sports, which is basically quasi-professional, right? So I'm not saying the premise is null and void, but it's like, how do you prove when it goes on, when it does not go on? So, and what I see is most people who do that, they really can't really make a real basis or a real claim to it. But again, I'm not that guy who said it does not go on, but some people let them tell it goes on every week. I'm just like, I'm hard pressed to believe that.
I played the game for a long time. It doesn't make sense to me. I got 235-pound sledgehammer back there, and I'm gonna throw a pass on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it just don't make sense.
You almost scored on the play before. You ran it down to the 1.
You damn right.
Real talk.
Yeah, I mean, so I realistically, like, man, when I think about it, I'm in a position to where, you feel me, I don't get, you know, upset or frustrated with it, but more so curious, like, you know, because then you got all the possibilities. Did they not want you to be the Super Bowl MVP? Because if you're Super Bowl MVP, then you're the face of the NFL. They don't want that to be the case or whatever. But at that,
and when they have special occasions, they bring all Super Bowl winners back, and they out there. Let me ask you this.
Oh, let me say this too, man. Rest in peace to Dick Butkus, man. I got the privilege to meet Dick Butkus during Super Bowl of this year in Arizona. We had an event for the NFL Alumni Association. Shout out to my guy Richard Walker, who does with the previous 2 seasons of Straight No Chaser Cowboys podcast. He's one of the, executives now for the NFL Alumni Association. So I got to meet Dick Butkus, man, and I wish I got a picture with him. I have pictures of him, and one of my other co-hosts, Darren Brown, has a picture with him. I just was like in the moment, everybody was kind of hawking on Dick Butkus, so I didn't want to really, bogart my way into getting a picture with him. But I wish I would have, because had I known that, he only had we're talking February, 8 more months, to live. I didn't know that. So I wish I would have got a picture with Dick, because I was right there. I was literally taking the pictures of it. So I got pictures of him, but I didn't get a picture with him, and I regret that, man. So rest in peace to Dick Butkus, man. Peace.
How long did it take you to get over not getting the ball?
Want to become a highly paid professional nurse fast and with affordable tuition?
One of the most meanest linebackers ever, and to Chicago Bears.
You know what? Realistically, it was immediately. Because the thing is, if you go and ask anybody that ever played with me, they'll tell you, like, he really, play for the team type shit.
Right.
So it was a part of me who wanted to be selfish, like give me the ball type shit. But at the end of the day, knowing the work that all these individuals put in, you know what I mean, if Lockett catch that ball, that's my nigga. So you feel me?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Tyler Lockett has the same aspiration too. So I'm glad that he cleaned up for him.
Right. I'm happy for him. But in the grand scheme of just football, that shit don't make no sense.
Right.
But as far as, you know what I mean, because I'll never come intentionally be no hater towards nobody, but just certain shit makes sense and certain shit don't. That just don't make no sense. Mm-hmm. It's not a good football. It's not
a football decision.
It's not good football IQ on. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not.
And I argue like it's good football IQ that you're trying to do the deception thing. But I think that's, again, like we led into with the show, is when you overthinking it, you're overthinking it. And it did not have favorable results. And so I think it's up for scrutiny because everybody want to be the smartest guy in the room. Everybody wants to be, the most erudite guy. Like, okay, well, yeah, I outthunk this guy, the great Bill Belichick. And listen, and kudos for Bill Belichick because they showed that look for a pick play. This is going to be a bang, bang play. Be ready for it. And Malcolm Butler was prepared. Now, again, if you give him like 10 more tries, he'd probably only catch it twice. But you caught him when he was prepared. He was ready. He made that jump on the play because he identified it. Boom, game over. So you got a little too cute because one thing you can't get too cute for is just run that thing up the A-gap and let Marshawn finish off what he started on that drive. Just saying.
Was that the play that ended the Seattle Seahawks?
Most definitely.
Boom. Bomb drop right there. Don DeMarco. That was the play, and we peeped this from the sidelines. Us, the Monday morning quarterbacks, we saw after that, it's a wrap. So we can't prove it. We don't have inside sources. We can't say that we know that somebody played for the Seahawks and said that it's done. But we, the Monday morning quarterbacks together, the conglomerate, when we saw that, we was like, ooh, I don't know how you win the locker room back over that because that was beast mode situation to shine, and you wanted Russ to shine the way we perceived it. And goddamn it, it's looking so revelatory all the way. So that's why I named the title of this video what I named it. Let's go forward.
And they suffering that from still to this day.
Because I had a podcast at the time called Miles and Off, and I went on that Monday, and I said they'll never be the same. I said they won't look at Pete the same. I said they realize because a lot of teams win one in a row. To be special, you win back-to-back Super Bowls because there've been so few that have done it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I said they will never believe in Pete the same way again.
Y'all hit that like you know what I mean? Like when a Dauphin get that first high, they going to chase that.
You chase that. You search for that. It's called chasing the dragon.
Chase that motherfucker. And now you got a situation where I believe where you look at it, like that motherfucker is almost like he's trying to chase and rebuild that team that he had rather than moving forward and letting the guys that he got be the guys.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to get a Sherm. I mean, you got a Sherm, or you got a rookie Sherm and an Earl Thomas and a Cam Chancellor. And,
Man, it's so crazy. I forgot about Earl Thomas, man. UT Longhorn, which I shouldn't. That's my favorite football team, not named Prairie View A&M University. Yeah, you won't be able to rebuild that same structure. You had something special, and you basically jeopardize all that for your 5'11" quarterback who right now playing under, the great Sean Payton is struggling. That's on you, homie. Pete Carroll, I mean, listen, man, Pete Carroll's been presented to some great football teams. As we know at USC with Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush and Lindale White, Michael Williams, just a bevy and plethora of talent on that team where you had that loosey-goosey culture. And everybody talk about Coach Prime, man. Pete Carroll was doing that a decade and a half ago. He had Snoop Dogg come to all the, practices and stuff, and that was being televised. Like USC been that since that. So everybody kind of getting on Coach Prime because he just kind of took it up another level. Like Pete Carroll been doing that for damn near 2 decades ago, right? So yeah, I mean, Pete Carroll's trying to chase that golden unicorn that he'll never find again. Listen, as good as Geno Smith is playing, you can't recreate that. I'm sorry. As great as DK Metcalf is, you won't be doing that. You won't find another beast mode. I mean, we know that Seattle been looking for a running back for a minute, running, those running back by committees with guys like Penny, guys like Kaysen, guys like it's another goddamn running back they had that was one of their little stalwarts. But man, I got to interview Marcus Trufant. You guys go back 2 years ago. Marcus Trufant talked about the Seattle secondary and stuff like that too. So yeah, it's just that's a hard thing to recreate, and I don't see it happening. But let's get back to it.
No, you got B Wags and you got KJ and you got Bennett and you got Averill and you got Red. I mean, bro, you're not gonna recreate that.
You're not. But as long as you chasing that and you not building these individuals to be the greatest player that they can be, you're gonna keep on, repeating history. Because he got some guys who I believe can play.
Right.
But if you got in your mind that you're
gonna recreate that
to be a Michael Bennett, or you got your guy, you want him to be a Marshawn, or you can't do that. But the thing is, if you go and groom that guy to be the best him, then probably give yourself a better chance. You feel me? Because they got some dudes over there who I really, I like. Yeah. But as long as in their mindset, they trying to get him to be the goddamn 2013 Seahawks.
What was your relationship with Pete like? And are there any similarities between John Gruden and Pete Carroll? But what was your relationship like with Pete?
All right, so this is going to kind of land the plane with the whole thing. We talked about how the Super Bowl disappointment thing is. We talked about how he should have got the ball. He didn't get the ball. We say, oh, it could have been for Russell Wilson's sake. It could have been to stymie him. And in this same interview, he talks about how the reason why he was doing that, I'm just here so I won't get fined. I want here so I won't get fined. Yeah. He talks about that. So it's kind of like, more or less a condemnation on his brand and how people didn't like how his disposition was, because he would talk. He just didn't like talk to the media. So now he's going to kind of land the plane with his relationship with Pete Carroll, how he views that whole situation. He talked about laughing in his face. So now he's going to view about how that whole dynamic came to a crescendo. So as we look in the stream, these last 2 minutes are going to be revelatory to the whole premise of, the whole point of the show. So let's keep it going and let Marshawn take it away.
My relationship with Pete was interesting. Because the thing is, like, I like Pete as a coach because he get motherfuckers ready to go.
Yeah,
that's the truth. And
yeah,
you feel me? And he the same way every day. But there was just certain things about Pete, like, he was like,
yeah.
And like, for me, I don't need that to get going. That's why I said
he's like a high school coach
on Sunday.
Yeah.
We play Sunday, right? Oh, we got Thursday night game.
Right.
Okay, cool. Let me know when the game is, and I'm gonna be ready. All the extra shit, I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need all of that to get ready to get to go. But a lot of guys can feed into that, and I seen it, and it worked.
Right.
So you feel me? I'll never go against the grain, like, oh, fuck him and this, that, and the third. Because no, he's a great motivator and get motherfuckers ready. But it was just that I didn't need that. And I don't think he understood, like, where I was coming from. That I don't need to be ha and hoo and all that.
Yeah, and that's kind of that Joel Osteen thing. Like, I don't, I look at, I listen to Marshawn talking, and any coach that ever coached me can probably, back it up. I didn't need all that. I was like, okay, just give me a fair one. The pump up stuff is cool, but it didn't really move my needle like that. Just give me the opportunity to go out there and play, go out there and do my thing. Because I didn't need the extra, like, what I needed? I need to go out there, just let me go out there and dunk doing warm-ups. Because, like in high school, well, college basketball, it can be a little iffy. Sometimes referees come out early and you can't dunk, and that would throw me off. But when the referees stay their ass down that tunnel, I can go out there and go pull my windmill off, go put my arm in the rim, go put my little backwards dunk in. That got me going. I don't care what coach said before the game. Like, it was just like, it didn't mean nothing to me. Like, I wasn't driven by verbal moxie. I was driven by adrenaline. So if you let me go out there and go dunk, and shout out to my guy, Dominique Sharp. Me and Sharp used to put on a show doing warm-ups. If when the referees stay their ass down in that tunnel, but we come out there and just be throwing it down. I come and do my little cockback Darius Miles dunk. Like that got me going. So you let me get me my little 4 or 5 dunks in. I don't care what coach said before the game. I'm ready to roll. Let me get my dunks in. Because in my mind, in my 18 through 23, I think when I graduated college, in my 19 through 23-year-old mind, I want to show the crowd what I could do. And I just to let them know, like, you ain't looking at no chump playing basketball. And that motivated me personally. Whatever coach said in the locker room is what he said in the locker room. Like I probably remember, 10% of what he said. But let me go out there and let me go rock. Let me go get going. That was me. And that's what Marshawn Lynch is talking about. Like, man, the speeches are cool. Let me go out there and do my beast mode thing. I'm ready, coach. That's cool. Some dudes need that. I don't need that. And so this is kind of revelatory about what Marshawn was, and because guys like that kind of get misunderstood. And I'll land the plane with my, my assessment here. Some people say like, oh, well, you ain't ready. After a big speech, you ain't howling. Like, no, coach, trust me, I got the fire inside me. I'm good. I ain't got to be jumping up and down and shit, all that to say I'm ready. I'm ready because my mind is sound. Everything in between my ears is sound. I'm ready to go unleash the fury on this team. So I'm glad he's saying it because a lot of coaches like to get that the little rah-rah thing going. And that's just not the case for everybody.
In order to be ready. And, I believe he wanted me to be a part of that type of environment, but that just wasn't my speed. So that kind of got us to, headbutting a little bit for the misunderstanding. But the thing was, I always told him, like, man, I ain't gonna never go against the grain. I ain't gonna never tell nobody not to, listen to what you got going on, but that shit just not for me.
And that's called giving your coach a fair one. I'm not a rah-rah guy, but I'm not going to be dissenting in your locker room telling, man, y'all doing this stupid shit. Because that is very deleterious to your program if you got a guy doing that. He's just like, no, this ain't for me, so I'm just going to shut up. And that's what coaches got to peep from a guy. Just certain guys are motivated by different things. And in the same interview, he talks about how he's not like a tell me everything and I learn guy. He's more kinesthetic. He's hands-on. And that is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a real thing. Everybody's not just, you write all the game strategies up and you just think they just take it all in because you're talking. I used to be a teacher before this. Some kids are like, you can say all this and then it doesn't matter to you do small group breakdown. That's how I was. When I got my master's degree, literally, shout out to Dr. Hansen, man. She would be up there, Dr. Judith Hansen at Prairie View University. She would write all this stuff down because I did curriculum instruction with technology. So she would just had this whole little thing about doing Photoshop and knowing how to do all this stuff. And like in my mind, I tried my best to focus, but I couldn't. In my mind, I'm like, la, 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 la. Same thing when I was playing basketball at Prairie View. Coach drawing all these X and O's, la, 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 la. And then I was doing it to be an asshole. I don't learn that way. But when you put me on the court and show me where to move, okay, I got it. When Dr. Hansen let me get on the computer and actually do it, I was like, Dr. Hansen, can you show me again? Just on my computer, show me how to do it. She showed me, boom, done. First person done. But she spent like 45 minutes lecturing. I didn't internalize none of that shit because I'm not a visual learner like that. I'm a kinesthetic learner. I'm a hands-on learner. And that's what Marshawn went on in his interview to state. And listen, good coaches, good motivators, good leaders, good managers, whatever your vocation is, you understand that everybody does not learn the same way. Let me say that again. Everybody does not learn the same way. Me as a salesman, we learned that talking to baby boomers, talking to Gen Xers, talking to Gen Zers, millennials. They communicate differently. Some like technology, some like face-to-face. Because some customers, my older customers, my boomers, and my I forget what was above the boomers, but they like face-to-face contact. So you can say, well, yeah, I'm sending you a link on no. They want to drive their ass up to the store and come talk to you face-to-face. So to understand all those things is to understand people at a high level. And I think that Pete Carroll did that, but I think he may have missed the boat just a little bit with guys like Marshawn. Let's keep going.
So, if you're going to be having meetings or whatever. I mean, we came to an understanding. If we having a meeting and you not telling me specifically, like, Marshawn, on this play, we need you to do X, Y, and Z, then, I'm probably not going to come to that meeting because I know what you're going to be in there doing. You're going to be in here and busting jokes and doing all the funny shit. And yeah, I mean, I'm ready to play football. So I'm going
to leave y'all with this, man. The statement I learned a long time ago. I think that's pretty much it on that. KYP. You know what KYP means? Anybody in chat? Anybody in chat knows what KYP means? I help you out. KYP means know your personnel, meaning know who you're dealing with. Know that some players react to certain things, or if you're a player, knowing that, hey, in a situation, I can trust this guy to have a ball in this scenario. But on the inverse, or the conversely, this dude should not touch the ball in this situation because he's too nervous. His hands are too fidgety. So I'm going to give him the ball when it's most advantageous to him helping the team dynamic. So just like a coach, listen, I know this guy right here, he's a valuable asset. He's a guy who can help us out. So I'm going to make a system that's fair but not equal. And here's what I mean by that. Fair but not equal means, listen, there's expectation that if you're at this production level, you're expected to come here and do this. Meaning come to this meeting, come to that meeting, show up to this, show up to that. That's fair. Equal is my starting running back, I'm not going to hold you to the same standard as the backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. Now, I know you're saying, "Who, man? Well, that's not fair." Well, listen, man, the fair is where they sell pigs at. Reality is, if you're a head coach, if you are a progenitor of a product, you know that you don't treat everybody the same, but you treat them fairly. We don't treat them equally, but it's fair. Meaning your production level kind of equates the latitude you have to kind of get a little preferential treatment. So if you're not producing, you better have your ass there early. You better have your ass there often. You better be ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to build. But if you're a producer, I'm going to give you a little slack because you earn the right to do that. Now, in a perfect utopian society or utopian, culture where you want everybody on the same page doing the same thing, yeah, of course you would. But in reality, that's not how it plays out. So smart coaches understand that they discern well and they delegate well of who does what, when, where, and how. So let me say that. So to bring this puppy on all the way home, Russell Wilson has kind of, and now I hate the fact that he didn't get into it because there's another clip. But just for a spoiler alert, Marshawn said that he just saw him as just a quarterback. He wasn't my homie because I called him up on some I got your back shit, and Russell Wilson kind of just blew him to the side. So that was more revelatory as well. I thought that would be in the clip, but it wasn't. But that's okay. They talked about that, the Super Bowl fiasco that we all saw in real time. He talked about how Pete Carroll, he don't F with him to this day. And he talked about just that linchpin of a moment was that Super Bowl situation that we all saw, that we all observed, and we all was just scratching our heads, and so was he. So next time, that's all I got. Y'all hit the like button on the way out, and thank y'all for tuning in for Hoop Jargon, man. Till next time, check me out on Sunday. I'll be with Straight No Chaser Cowboys podcast, and y'all may be surprised by my opinion about this game right here. It ain't gonna be good for the Cowboys. Spoiler alert. I'll talk to y'all in a few days. Peace.